right, so find an auspicious spot to take your stand. I'm going to mirror you. Begin with your right shoulder, lift it up, bring it back and down, just circling it a couple of times. And then go to your left shoulder, bring it up, back and down, just circling. And do both shoulders together, up, back and down. Go the other way. So take your right shoulder, bring it back, forward, up and down. Just let the rhythm of your breath be natural here. Go to your left shoulder. So you're not here trying to bring the breath into phase with the movement, just moving the body, and then both shoulders together, bring them up, forward, back and down. Have your hands on your hips. You're going to circle the hips a few times. Just warming things up. First direction. Hands almost as if resting on a plank of wood, palm down, Balgong point at the center of each palm, kind of hovering above the ground, and just turn your head side to side. Be real mindful not to push beyond comfortable limits here. You don't have to crank one way or the other. As if the palms are kind of resting to give you stability. And then you're going to circle the head around, not cranking the neck back, long neck as you come up over the top. And maybe even as if there's a circle of light, a beam of light coming out of your forehead, going the other way around. And you're just kind of drawing a circle on the ground and out in front of you as you turn. Or just roll your head around, that works too. And then hands back on the hips, you're going to begin circling the hips. And then when you're ready, bring the head rolling into a two, as if the head rolling is following the movement of the hips around. Come back to center, begin with the hips going the other way first, and then the head begin to roll, following behind it. Now, your arms, you're going to take your hands and maybe even imagine there's like a, I don't know, like a stove pipe coming up right in front of you. And you're going to bring your hands up through the bottom of it, backs of the hands together, reaching up, and then open up the hands and circle around. So the backs of the hands coming together. At the top, you're going to open it up, gently circle around. You can take a little bit of a wider stance if you want to come up and down a little bit with the hips, but nothing too deep yet. Reaching up, opening up and around. You're going to reverse it now, so you're bringing the hands up over the top, like you're coming back inside that tube down, and then opening up. Be mindful of your shoulders. There's lots of twisting of the wrists and the arms here that can happen, so just be really gentle with it. Up, down, and around. Take a kind of soft bow stance. So that is if you're mirroring me, your right foot in front, kind of aiming straight into the camera, your back foot a little back behind, your left foot about a 45-degree angle. And here you're just going to, sink the hips a little bit. You're going to imagine there's a basketball or a beach ball sized ball of light right in front of your navel. And you're just going to shift the hips forward and push the hands out a little bit in front. You're going to pull the hips back and come back. I'll show it to you from the side. So you're just like pushing it out. Maybe imagining there's a little bit of inertia to this ball. You're going to pull it back, pushing it forward, pulling it back. And then now you're going to begin to lift the ball up to about the height of the chest. And you're going to pull it back a couple times. So you're pushing it forward from the navel and back. And then this time, you're going to push it forward. You're going to open the hands up. Like imagine that ball just expands. You're going to shift the weight back. Bring the hands to the side. You imagine another ball forming out of the navel. You're going to send it forward and around, or you can just move the hands and forget about the ball if that's easier. But it's like you're sending it out from the navel and around. Again, the rhythm of the breath is natural here. One or two more times like this. So forward and around, switch sides. Now your left foot's in front. Begin kind of shifting that ball forward, bring it out and pulling it back, sending it out, back. We'll tap like that. Now we're going to start bringing it up, like we're getting ready to launch. So sending it up, back. We'll do this 3 times up, pulling back, and the 3rd time, all hell breaks loose. You send that ball out, circle the hands back around. It's like you're swimming. Maybe not very effective swimming here, but like you're just washing whatever's around you. Bring it up, out and around and back. We're going to switch sides. So right foot's in front. This time you begin in the back. Same kind of movement as before with the hips. But you're going to send the hands out. Back hands come together. Turn the palms up like you're rolling it back. And coming out, back and around, and shaping the side. So rolling it back. And as the hands come out to the side, you shift the weight forward. Back, the hands come forward. Roll it back. So out, back around, out, back around. We'll do one like that. Switch sides. So your left foot's in front, starting the back, forward, roll back. And feet about shoulder width apart. Can be maybe a little bit wider than shoulders. Can be, doesn't have to be too precise, but kind of a generous shoulder width. Have your, start with your right hand on your hip. So your left hand, you're just going to bring it up like a snake head kind of looking at you, or I don't know, some kind of creature. Say hi to that thing. And then it's going to come down like so in front. So being real careful with your arm here and your elbow, just kind of very gently doing a circle with it. And then you're going to begin shifting the weight. So let's start like this. Your weight shifts a little bit to your left. You're looking at the hand. And this time as the hand comes down, you're going to turn and look away from it as you shift the weight slightly over to your right. So turn back, shift the weight about 65%, maybe 70% in the left leg. Shift it back to the right. So you're just turning and turning away from it. So coming up, and back down a couple more times, up, back down, up, back down. And you're going to switch sides. So your left hand on your hip. We'll do the circles a couple times with the right hand coming up and around. Modifying it as you need to, and then you're going to shift the weight toward the right hand. Hey there, what's going on? You're going to turn away from it. So turn back to it, turn away from it, back to it, turn away like so. You're going to start both hands. So turn to the left, turn to the right, turn to the left, turn to the right. The breath comes into phase with the movement, that's fine, but here, just let the rhythm of the breath do what it wants to do. Just going to focus on the movements. Now we're going to do both hands at once. They're going to come up, and you come down, you're going to sink the hips a little bit. You're going to come up, sink the hips a little bit here. So let the hips rise and fall a little bit here. You're not shifting the weight. Now we do the same kind of thing, but it's going to be a different phase. So this time that hand's up on the left. Maybe you shift your weight over to the left, but you're going to turn to the right, shift the weight to the right. Like you and this creature's head are looking that way. What's out there? And then as it comes down and it goes low, palm up, you're going to push over to your left. So turn back to the right, push to the left. Turn to the right, push left, like that. Go to the other side. So shift the weight over to your right, looking at the creature's head. You and it are going to go this way. You're going to look, hey, what's over there to the left? Then it comes down and you're going to push it out to the right. So turn, push low to the right, like that. And you're going to do both hands together. So as the right hand comes up, your left hand is going to go low. You're going to maybe now focus on the lower hand. You're pushing to the left. And you're pushing back low to the right. Push left, push right. Fix that. So have your right foot 45-degree angle and step out with the left. So bring your weight back. So your hands are in loose fists at the back quad in inguinal crease. Hands are going to come up. You're going to spiral open like you're grasping chi, and you're going to pull it back to the back hip. So you're pushing forward, grasping, pulling back to the back hip. And for this, there's a lot of ways you could do it, but let the hips kind of sink just a little bit and try to keep the hips at that level. So you're pushing, grasping the chi, spiraling the hands back, palm up at the back. So opening the fists, spiraling back. A little bit of turning the hips here. So turning that direction out there, and then pulling back, you're turning back to that corner. Here, let's try bringing the breath into phase with it. So breathing in as you pull back, lift, come out, breathe out. See as you come back, see if you can focus on this breath when you're coming back. And then it's like you're beginning to lift up here. You're beginning to make the turn, lift, push out. So push off the front heel as you come back, lift, push off the back heel forward. So you come back and you're lifting down here, like from the quad, and down. One more like this. We're going to switch sides. So left foot back, right foot out. Shift the weight back to your left. Reach out and then pull back. Pushing off the front heel as you come back. The weight's back, you lift up, you're pushing up, push off the back heel forward. Release that. Let's see. Start here with your right foot forward again. Now just a kind of straightforward bow stance. So the front foot is straight forward, the back foot's at an angle out. You're going to shift your weight back, and then you're going to begin, let's see, with your, let's start with your front foot hand out in front in a fist. Your back hand is back like so by the back, like by the back hip, maybe actually more at the height of your belt channel. You're going to come forward, you're going to switch the hands. So you're pushing out with the left hand, you're pulling back with the right elbow. Then shift. So pushing forward, pushing back. It doesn't have to be any kind of staccato punch here. Might even be, I don't know if the metaphor works, but like there's a big kind of wad of dough in front of you, and you're just trying to twist and turn it as you come back. So you're pushing forward, pulling back. I'll show you from the side. So you're pushing forward, pulling back, pushing forward, pulling back a couple more times. And then you're going to switch sides. So your left foot's forward. You're going to shift the weight back. Your left fist is out in front of the left shoulder. The right hand is pulled back. You're going to push forward, pull back, push forward, pull back. Switch again. This time we're going to reverse the hand. So your weight's back. The back leg hand is up in front. The front leg hand is pulled back. So this is, if this were like actually punching, this would be a little bit awkward, but we're just kneading the dough. So you're going to shift forward. The front hand comes forward. The right hand comes forward. The left hand pulls back in reverse. So push, pull back, push, pull back. A big wad of dough that your hands are pulling and pushing here. One more and forward, switch sides. So as you come back, the right leg is in the back of your knee, that hand is out in front, the left elbow's pulled back. So you're going to push, pull, push, pull. So you're pushing with the left hand, you're pulling back with the left hand. Push left, pull back. Switch sides again. Weight is back. This time, both hands together at once. You're going to push forward, pull back, push forward, pull back. So pushing and then pulling back with those elbows. Let's see what happens if you can invite the hips to begin moving forward just first. So the hands stay back, and then the inertia builds up. You're out, and begin pulling back ever so slightly with the hips first. So it's like the hips ever so slightly leading the way, not just with intention, but even in time. So you're pushing forward, pulling back, pushing forward, pulling back, switch sides. So weight back, push forward, pull back. Switch sides again. This time weight is back, but both hands are out in front. Now, as you shift the weight forward, you're pulling the elbows back. You're just reversing the phase. So pushing forward the hips, pulling back with the hips. Push forward, swing the arms back around like we did before. Now pull back, roll it back. So push forward, roll back. Push forward, roll back. One more time. Push forward, roll back. All right, left foot forward, weight is back, arms are out in front. So you shift the hips forward, pull the elbows back. Hips ever so slightly lead the way here. So you're pulling down as you shift the weight forward. You're pulling back with the hips as you push the hands out. Now come forward, keep the hips forward, swing the arms out around. And as you curl them back, pull the hips back. Let's see. In a wider stance, like shoulder width and a half apart. It's a kind of modified, very modified horse stance here, but the feet are, I don't think you can see them, they're angled out. You're gonna sink the hips a bit. You're gonna shift your weight over. The right foot is a little bit in front. So the hands are down low. You're gonna reach down. Your left hand is below the right. Your hands are in fists. You're gonna lift up. The hips can come up a little bit. The hands come up about the height of your shoulder. You're looking out in the right, toward the right direction. You're gonna open up as you shift. A little bit of weight is over here in the left leg more than the right. Palms open. Sink the hips. Stretch out both hands as you shift a little bit further over the left. Pull back to the right. Left hand's below right. Coming up. Out, open the hands. Sink. Stretch left. Pull back over to the right. So lift. Open the hands. Sink. Shift. Pull back. The opposite leg hand is below. You're going to lift. Open. Sink. Stretch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 1. Sorry, hands don't open yet. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so switch. So now the left foot is a little bit in front. You're shift the weight over the left side. Your right hand is below, your left hand's on top. The hands are not touching, hands and fists palm up. Gonna lift, shift as you open the hands. Sink, stretch. Back over to the left, the right hand below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feet back to about shoulder apart. You just lower the chi 3 times. Count the navel. All the way up and around. Hands over the navel. Let's do this the Hunyan way. So for this one, women will have the left hand touching the body. Men will have the right hand touching the body. I'm not mirroring you now. Eyes either closed or gently open. Whichever hand is closest to the body, move that hand about an inch in that direction to the side of your navel, and then circle down below the navel and up the other side. Actually rubbing your abdomen here. The Laogong points in the hands are lined up one over the other, and you're just kind of stirring. Imagining here you can reach inside your abdomen and stir, begin a spiral in there. And then the spiral begins to get a little bit bigger. The hands are a little bit more light on the abdomen now. And then at some point the hands lift off the abdomen. Hands are no longer quite touching each other, but it's like you're stirring inside. Bigger and bigger circles. Just creating a kind of spiral or a vortex inside the body. Hands become a little bit even bigger in their circles. So you're going up to about the base of the neck, maybe a little bit higher, and then down, maybe even all the way down to the height of your perineum. Big circles. Like you're stirring it in there. So there might be almost like there's a little bit of inertia on the inside that you're helping to stir around. And if it doesn't feel like there's inertia, you can just circle the hands, a couple more bigger circles. And when you're next to the bottom, come up the other way and then reverse it. So you're just going to begin spiraling it all back. Stirring it back in. At a certain point, the hands begin to gently touch the abdomen again. The hands are touching each other until You circle back around the navel. The allowed points come to a still point over the navel. Just take a moment to notice anything that's going on inside your body. Anything going on at the surface of your body. Anything going on outside. Release the hands. If the eyes are closed, open the eyes. That's it for this morning.